Good morning. Nick Markey here, physical therapist and online fitness coach. Going on our morning walk here. You can see it looks like it rained overnight here in Wilmington, or just the sprinklers went nuts. Anyways, I hope your Tuesday is going great so far. 6:30 in the morning, if you're awake yet. What I wanted to talk about today is, you only really fail if you give up. And by give up, I mean, like, just completely give up on whatever it is you're pursuing. Now, that's not to say that sometimes that's not the best, or sometimes that may be the best course of action for you, and your life and happiness. So I'm not judging anyone on that. But obviously, if you have some sort of dream that does make you, happy and something that's worthwhile to pursue, you screw up or whatever throughout the process, quote unquote fail, as long as you just pick yourself back up and keep working at it, you haven't really failed. You're just, learning things. I think it was, Thomas Edison, I think? His famous quote was, I didn't fail, I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work or something. So it's nothing's, in our mind when we have a goal or a plan to do something, like some sort of dream or whatever, we naively will be like, oh, this will work out probably XYZ, it'll be easy. And that's, probably never gonna happen like that, right? As Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, right? Full of quotes this morning. And, so you're going to be pursuing something. Hopefully, as we talked about before, you started with, what would make you fulfilled and happy, and then brainstorm some ideas on that, and then started pursuing the ones that made the most sense for you at the time. Basically, don't do what I did. And then so you're going to be working at it, and you may see some success quicker, maybe slower. You may outright fail, quote unquote fail, but as long as you're still pursuing the thing that would make you happy, you're not really failing, unless you just give up completely. If you fall down on the ground and just lay there and say, this is it. And that also means that if, say that you do fall down or screw up or quote fail, it might just mean you have to go a different way. There might just be, that just may not be the best path for what you're trying to accomplish, at that given time. Or maybe it's not the right time for that particular thing. I see this in rehab often, right? So, you'll be doing reasonably well. There's ups and downs in rehab, of course. And, something will flare up, or maybe you try to push through it or jump into something a little quicker, and you get bit back, and you end up needing to try maybe a different route, try some other things, other variations of the, rehab exercises. Happens, with weight loss, There's ups and downs. One, your weight fluctuates up and down already anyways. So, sometimes you'll screw up, you'll overeat, in calories or whatever. Or maybe you'll just have too many calories in one big meal or whatever. And, your first inclination is probably, in your mind, is probably going to be like, oh, see, we failed, just give up. And it's like, you didn't fail, man. You just, you had a little screw up, right? You had a little hiccup, okay? 1 out of the 3 meals today wasn't so good. Let's see what we can do the next meal. And I think I said it yesterday, the best way to look at that is just being that quarterback that could, throw the interception and then go right back out to the next play totally forgot that he even threw that interception. So obviously when you're working on something, you're trying to change something, it's never easy. Because if it were, everyone would be the perfect self, their perfect dream, ideal selves, right? If change were easy. And when you're going to have ups and downs, and you're going to have moments where you screw up or things get down, and yes, oftentimes the first inclination is your system that wants to keep you safe and protected is going to want you to just give up. And that's just not the answer. You only, as I keep saying, you only fail if you give up, right? So if you have a little screw up, you have a little hiccup, it's okay. You're going to have those. In fact, I expect them, and it's why I always tell my clients to weigh every morning. If they're, trying to lose weight, I want them to weigh every morning because they're going to see that just naturally it goes up and their weight goes up and down. And so then that will help kind of objectify it a little bit, objectify the situation. Same thing if I'm going through rehab, I track, the weights we're doing, the reps, the sets, the RPE, that's rating of perceived exertion, so that when someone has a bad week and they're freaking out thinking, their knee is forever gone, they're several weeks into rehab, and then we look back and they're like, dude, even though this week sucks, you're still doing way better than you were that first week, because we get stuck in the trenches of the current time. So this is my Tuesday morning encouragement to, if you have this dream that you really want and that really makes you happy, you just keep fighting for it. You're going to screw up. It's going to happen. You're going to quote fail. But just like I said, you don't fail unless you just give up on it. And again, if you learn in the process that dream is not something that you want anyways, I'm not judging you if you do give up, right? If you think it's something you want and you fight hard for it and you keep working at it, and then you just realize that it isn't really something that you want, maybe you think a little bit more critically, a little deeper about it, then that's okay too. But if it is something you want and you screw up, you hiccup, you fail, whatever, you pick up yourself and you go to the next moment, the next play, the next hour, whatever time period you want to measure it in. And then you just go again, right? You just go back to your process that you're supposed to work anyways. So I hope this is helpful for somebody, my rambling. I hope you have I'm trying to think of a good tea. Only one thing I can think of is terrific. have a terrific Tuesday, and, enjoy it out there. Enjoy some life. Peace.